here's something to think about as well. So this is comparing pressure rates between Watson and Jameis Winston. So Watson, 7 games, pressured 118 times, 33 sacks. Winston, 6 games, 5 starts, pressured 76 times, 16 sacks. The difference? Winston's getting the ball out almost half a second quicker, 3.05, 2.63. Again, that's important. That is a huge deal in the NFL.
And I think also another fun stat to track, like this is where I wish Next Gen Stats had like an available number. How many yards have those quarterbacks ran behind the line of scrimmage, right? Because that's the big issue with Deshaun. Not only does he hold the ball for a while, he's just zipping around behind the line of scrimmage like crazy, and that's creating pass rush windows for edge rushers to go and tackle him, right? Yeah, I mean, we know that the biggest issue with the team and why they were and why their record is what it is because Deshaun Watson played some historically bad football to start the year. And I want to make this point. Jameis Winston has not been playing different than what you expected Jameis Winston to look like. And Jameis Winston came into this as a well-known backup level quarterback. And he's blowing away Deshaun Watson, right? Like that's the part here that I think is interesting is that it didn't even take that much. We're not talking about going from Deshaun Watson to Joe Burrow here. We're talking about going from Deshaun Watson to 30-year-old Jameis Winston. And the difference is that start. It just screams that guy, Watson, was just incompetent at the quarterback position, and that's putting it pretty nicely. So yeah, there's some things that need to be fixed and addressed. Anything is better. And let me make sure I'm clear on that. Any quarterback that is like of reasonable quality is a better option than going back to Deshaun Watson next year.
Yeah, I again, how are you going to sell that to the locker room if you're going to do that? I mean, if we can see it, the players can see it.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. Everybody's seen it. It looked like the players knew it before the season started that this is what it was with Deshaun Watson, right? It makes you even go back, Dave. Remember how rarely we saw Jameis in the preseason? We're like, that's weird that he's not playing in this game when he's just like the designated backup. And it makes you wonder, like, oh, was that on purpose? Because they didn't want you to know? I don't know. There's a lot that has been going on weird at the quarterback position, but I think this has to be the wake up call here. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, all 3 of these guys have proven not to be that special outside of Cleveland. But if you compare them to Deshaun Watson, they look like the second coming. That's the biggest sign I can ever give you.
Yeah, no, you can't argue with it. You cannot argue with what you've seen.